the system.
Okay, so today we're starting chapter 4, which is ratios and rates. And we have a few notes to take first. So a ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. And there's 3 different ways that we can write a ratio, and I'm going to show you those now. You can write a ratio with words, 3 to 6. That means I'm comparing 3 to 6. You can write it with a colon, which is like the little dots on a clock. So 3 to 6, you read it the same way. That little colon stands for the word 2, and we read it the same exact way as we do with the words. Or you can write it as a fraction, because remember, a ratio is comparing two numbers by division, and fractions mean divide. So you would read that one the same way too. 3 to 6. All right, so the next word is rate. Rate is a comparison of two quantities that have different units. So let me give you a couple examples of rate. So for example, $5 per pound. That is a rate. I'm comparing two different things, dollars and pounds, and it's $5 for every 1 pound. Another example would be if I drove 130 miles in 2 hours. I'm comparing two different things with two different units, and then that's it. So a unit rate is when we simplify a rate so that it has a denominator of 1. Now this example that I gave you up top, this one is already a unit rate because it says $5 per pound, per 1 pound. So it already has that 1 on the bottom. But I'm going to show you an example and you'll know how to do it. It's really easy. So for example, if I went 187 miles in 3 hours. Now I know this is a rate because it has two different units, miles and hours. But I want to turn it into a unit rate and get a 1 on the bottom. So the way that I turn it into a unit rate to get a 1 on the bottom is I divide the top and bottom by whatever's on the bottom. So basically you just do 187 divided by 3. So let's find my calculator. $62.33333. So I'm going to write it with a line. So my unit rate is I can go 62.3 miles in 1 hour. And when we do unit rates, you're always going to write your units there, which are the miles and the hours, or you might have cups to minutes or feet to seconds or whatever it is. You're going to write the words with the numbers. Write the problem that I'm going to make. Okay, so it says 12 missed days and 180 days of school. The first thing I'm going to do is write this as a ratio. It's 12 days out of 180 days. And this is a ratio, not a rate, because they're both days. Okay, I got 12 days on the top that they were absent and 180 days on the bottom of total school days. But it wants me to write it in its simplest form. So that means I have to reduce it like a fraction. So the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can divide 180 by 12, because if I can, that will make our life really easy. Oh, it works, guys. So let's do it. 180 divided by 12. So that means I can divide the top and bottom of this fraction by 12 and make it in its simplest form. So 12 divided by 12. What?
The 180 divided by 12 is 15.
Good. Thank you. And what about 12 divided by 12?
0.
Try again. What is it?
I don't know.
1.
1. Good.
What?
So
I thought it was like
making
127 or something.
this ratio in its simplest form, we have 1 over 15. So that's your answer. How do I write 12 wins to 18 losses as a fraction?
1, 2.
12, 18.
12 over 18.
Is it 1, 3?
And now I need to reduce it to its simplest form. Can 18 divide by 12?
Probably. Yes.
Let's try. 18 divided by 12.
No.
No, it does not go evenly. So, what can go into 18 and 12 evenly?
3.
Okay, 3 will go,
2.
but and 2 will also go, but
But
something
you should
bigger
be
can
higher.
go. Think bigger.
11?
What'd you say, Tiffany?
No.
6.
Yes, 6. Good. Very good. So we're going to divide both of these by 6 to get our simplest form fraction. So write this on your paper. 12 over 18. And then show that we divided both by 6. And 12 divided by 6 is what?
2.
Good. And 18 divided by 6?
3.
You got it.
27.
I understand this now.
Okay, so for this one, it says 24 pints to 1 quart. But remember, we're doing ratios, and what do you notice about the units?
Point.
Are they the same?
No.
No, they have to be the same to do a ratio, though. Cameron, turn around. So I have to make them the same. So I am going to turn the quart into pints. And I know that 2 pints equals 1 quart. So I will help you guys with those conversions because that's just a fact that I know. And so instead of 1 quart now,
It's 2 pints.
we're good. We're going to write 2 pints. Very good, Tiffany. So now we can make our fraction because we have the same unit. So what is my fraction on this one?
2 24ths.
24. 2.
Good. And a little hint or tip or fact is that whichever number is first in your sentence has to go on top.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I didn't tell you guys that yet. That was my fault. Okay, so now we can see what it equals. What can I divide both 24 and 2 by?
2. 12.
Nailed it.
2.
Well, what is 24 divided by 2?
12.
12.
Wow, that's where you got the 12. And 2 divided by 2?
1.
1. She was multiplying.
Right beside me the whole entire time. I could just look up the calculator. That's why.
So 12 to 1 is writing this ratio in its simplest form. Okay, so this one is like the last one. 8 inches out of 4 feet. Are my units the same?
No.
No. So I have to make them the same before I can move on. So how many inches are in 4 feet? How many inches are in 1 foot?
12.
12. So if we do 12 times 4, we can find out how many inches are in 4 feet. Yes. Wow, good job. I like that. Tiffany's on the ball today. Okay, so 48 inches is what we're going to replace 4 feet with. Okay? Hello? Okay, now we can write it as a ratio. So how will I write this as a ratio?
8 48.
8 over 48. Awesome. And we're going to reduce it. So what can 8 and 48 both divide by?
8.
Yes.
4.
Well, 4 is true, but we can go bigger, which we always want to go bigger if we can. And it's 8.
1. Okay, I know the answer. I know the answer. 1 6.
1 over something.
1 over 6.
1 over 6 is correct. Okay, good job, girls.
Hey, I got the one right.
So 1 over 6 is our unit rate, or reducing it to the simplest form. All right, we got 2 more problems to do, and then we're done for the day. So, okay, for the last 2 problems, it says express each rate as a unit rate. So now I'm doing rates. That means my units are supposed to be different. So first we're going to write it as a fraction because I always like to use fractions, even though, remember I showed you there's like these 3 ways to write them?
Yeah.
I always use the fraction because that's my favorite one and it's easiest to like work with when you're trying to do math. Okay? So, what would my fraction be for $50 for 4 days?
It would be
50 on the top and 40 on the bottom.
Good. So
you would have $200.
Oh my
and I'm going to write my units like this. Remember, when you're doing rates, we have to write our units with it. So write the $ and write the word rate. Cameron, copy this down, please.
Yeah, Cameron.
And now I have to make a unit rate. And to make a unit rate, all I do is divide by what's on the bottom. Okay? So we're going to divide both of them by 4. What is 50 divided by 4?
48.
12.5.
Yes. Great job, Tiffany. 12.5. But remember, we're talking about money. So how do I make that look like money? What do I need to add?
$.
I added the $. What else do I need to add?
Something.
0.
Good, Tiffany. I have to add a 0 because remember, dollars have like 2 numbers past the decimal. Okay, so we just found out that there's a 1 on the bottom, which is exactly what we wanted. We always want to end with a 1 on the bottom when we're doing unit rates. So if I make $50 in 4 days, how much do I make in 1 day?
$12.50.
$12.50 is the answer. Awesome, awesome job. All right, last problem. 3 feet of snow in 5 hours. Remember, we're doing rates, so my units are supposed to be different. What will my fraction look like?
3 line 5.
You got it. And remember, with rates and unit rates, we want to write our units up here. So I have feet on the top and I have hours on the bottom. 3 feet to 5 hours. Now remember, I want to get a 1 on the bottom, so I have to divide by whatever's on the bottom.
Oh, I know.
06.
So we're dividing 3 divided by 5.
Means 06.
You're multiplying. You keep multiplying. We're dividing.
I hate dividing.
0.6 is correct.
Dividing was my best friend.
Great job, Tiffany. And then we're going to go ahead and write our units. So every hour, it snowed 0.6 feet. Okay, and that is our unit rate. And that is all for today. So we'll see you next time.